The last month of my life has been extreme. I've lived in my van for 43 days. I'm building out a coaching business, and right now I'm back home for 3 full weeks of focused work. I used to do extreme focused work with newsletters, writing up to 4,000 word plus emails a week. This was back in March 2024 when I visited Georgia solo for 1 month. This was the most focused time of my life up until now. I'm out of the chaos of traveling around the country, visiting 13 states in about a month, not having good Wi-Fi, finding a place to sleep every single night, and not having a home base. And I've now once again found the most focused period of my life. So here's how I reignited my extreme focus after more than a year and a half. I've found 4 to 5 hours of extreme flow state every morning. If you don't know what flow state is, it's a psychology model developed by Mihai Csikszentmihalyi. You felt it before, like creative pursuits in hobbies, when you are in the zone and everything else gets drowned out, when you're on the sports field in high school or college, when you're jamming out with an instrument, things like that. It's when the world around you goes away. The idea of you goes away. It's an act of pure flow where the divine flows through. And then you are a channel. You are a channel for creativity, for this flow. I feel it right now while speaking. The sounds in the background just kind of drowned out. And that's just a reminder of love and focus. The words just kind of spill out of me. I'm in this state of creation. I am doing. Now, I'm a little bit aware of it because I'm talking about it, but in an actual flow state, you're not really self-aware. Flow is something that a lot of people want to achieve all the time once they know about it. They optimize their life for flow state. How can I make this workout flow? How can I get into flow when I'm with my friends? How can I flow through my work or through my school day? This could be a way to live, but not for me. True flow requires novelty. If you were in true flow all the time, you wouldn't actually be in it. It wouldn't be special because you'd be in it all the time. There's nothing special about that. Not that it matters a ton, to each their own. People can find flow all the time, but I don't optimize for flow unless it's during my work days. And outside of that, I like to have it naturally arise. I think boredom is a very important thing that people don't experience. Think of all of your creative breakthroughs. You're maybe working on a project and then all of a sudden you're on a walk or you're sitting around or talking to somebody and boom, this breakthrough hits you. Or new ideas that are just very novel and that you didn't expect. Those just hit you when you're just kind of bored, when you're sitting around. Flow, you don't get that. You don't get that boredom. And I think personally that that's very important. And I enjoy being bored, even if in the moment I resist it a little bit. Optimizing for flow just kind of sounds contradictory to me. It flows. There's no system to make it work. There are rules that serve as guidelines, and that could be called a system, but they aren't hard and set rules. They are just guidelines. Some people believe in the standard rules of flow, like it takes 20 minutes to achieve with no distractions or no outside stimulus. Or you must be doing a challenging task that fits your skills, but it's not too difficult or it's not too easy, because when it's too easy, it's boring. When it's too difficult, it's out of reach, so it's not interesting, which is true, but you can do very easy things in flow. When you are in flow, things become easy. Or if you are really wanting to arise to the challenge, it then becomes easy. You don't need that, but it is an important guideline to follow. Or that flow comes from curiosity, love, and it's self-gratifying, not for an external source. This one I do certainly believe to be true. It does have to be self-gratifying. You have to be doing it for yourself. But I'm not doing that completely for myself. I am in flow. I wrote about this and I'm now speaking about it. I'm in flow. Not complete, not deep, not 100% flow, but I'm in it, but I'm doing this for you. I'm sharing this with you because I think that it's very important. It relates to me and it can make your life better by just sharing my experience. I wouldn't have to do this. If it was just for me, if I was the only person on earth, I wouldn't have to do this. But I want to because I think it's important, and that comes from a place of love. But all the flow like rules are not very hard and set. They don't have to be hard and set. I don't believe in any hard and set rules, and that in itself is a hard and set rule. So maybe that's the only one I believe, or maybe I don't even fully believe that. Point being that flow rules serve as very important guidelines. They don't have to be met, but they will help. For example, when I was writing this, it took me, I remember, like 2 minutes to get into flow. It happened very, very quick. The guideline says that it takes 20 minutes to get into focus. It wasn't like that for me. Flow is an idea that I've studied for 2+ years, so it's come kind of easy. One of the guidelines for flow is that it has to be challenging. It has to meet the challenge. And up till now, it's been very easy because I know about all this stuff. I can just share it quite easily off the top of my head without having to research or think or connect new ideas. It's kind of all there. Now later, there's definitely some new ideas, and that's going to get super interesting. But it's just in my knowledge, so it's not really challenging. That one of the guidelines of flow is that it has to be a little bit challenging. So far up till now, it wasn't. And it's not super self-gratifying either, like I just said. It is. I love doing this. I love speaking, and I love helping, and I love sharing novel ideas, unique ideas that are going to make things more convenient, more better for you. But it's not completely 100% self-gratifying. So those are just some examples of how flow rules are simply guidelines. Now that gives you a little bit of an understanding about this flow psychology, how it works, how to get in it. So I'll get back into my personal focus. Flow has allowed me to get 3 hours of writing done in about 30 minutes. Writer's block doesn't seem to exist for me. Flow has opened the door to develop my skills, obtain daily new knowledge, find time for hobbies, build a brand new coaching business, and do outreach for the business while building back end and writing copy and landing pages and market research, working with coaches, recording podcasts, and spending time with my family and friends while I'm home for a few weeks. To be honest with you, it's all been really low stress. All of this focus and all of this work has not added any stress to my life because of flow. Focus isn't about sitting down or blocking out distractions or using a time block or blocking all of your phone apps. These things help, but they're not the root of focus. You can do all of these things and still struggle to focus. I've done it. I've done it before. That's how I know. You can do all of these things and hire a focus coach and give yourself personal deadlines, and you could still struggle with focus. The root of pure focus is alignment. When a task is aligned with your soul's purpose, you naturally focus. Think back to any time you felt flow before. Did you love that moment? I would almost guarantee that you did. You were in flow because that moment aligned with your soul. I think back to football. I'd be on the football field like I was in the zone. Nothing else could pierce my attention. I was fully there on that play. So much that I didn't have to think about my play. I didn't have to think about the task that I was doing. I knew, and I just did, and I acted. I wasn't thinking about previous plays. I wasn't thinking about the score. I wasn't thinking about the trash that guy was talking to me. I was simply just there acting and doing, purely in that moment. And I remember when I was stepping into flow, I was hyping my team up in the huddle, reminding them of the goal, only 2 yards. We can easily get 2 yards on this play right now, high-fiving and encouraging. This leadership came once I was in flow. The leadership never really came out in practices. I say never really. It never came out in practices because I wasn't in flow in the practices. When I was aligned with my soul's purpose of leadership, which we'll get into in a little bit, I naturally found flow. When I was in my soul's purpose of leadership. And now this is where self-understanding tools like astrology, human design, numerology, tarot, and more come into play. In astrology, I have multiple signs that point toward becoming a leader as I mature. My north node, which is your soul's purpose, is in Aries. Aries is a sign of boldness, independence, forging your own path, beginnings. Aries is the first sign. This is clear enough to speak for itself. In Saturn, which is your maturity, masculinity, money, is in Leo. Leo is the other biggest leadership role. It's putting myself in the center of attention, clear leadership and confidence and boldness and action. I have more in astrology too, but that's enough to get the point across. In numerology, I'm a day 1. 1 is a number of leadership and beginnings. In human design, I'm a self-projected projector. This is less than 3% of people. These type of people are natural thought leaders who aim for alignment, but they are reserved and somewhat sensitive. But once they get recognition, they thrive. So that kind of pairs. Once I get the recognition of that leadership, I thrive with it. And that's where my soul's purpose lays. I'm full of leadership qualities. And once I found flow on the football field, my natural abilities also flowed out of me. I became that leader. I expressed my thoughts and I gave inspiration. And truthfully, I wish I would have been recognized for that more, which is that projector coming out. When you are in flow, your natural talents, your soul's purpose flow out of you. So you can analyze your flow states. What now feels easy in your flow state? In your flow state, what unusual things arise? What do you get better at with ease? What personality shifts happen? I shifted into leadership. What about you changes in flow? What feels different? Does your posture change? Does your language change? Do your thoughts change? These will give you a brand new perspective of your soul's purpose using flow. I've noticed a couple things in myself. As I mentioned, leadership comes out easier, but I also become more articulate. I don't fumble my words. I feel like I've not really fumbled my words in this video so far. And sometimes in speaking or trying to explain something, I talk very fast. And I've noticed myself slowing down talking. I'm a naturally kind of fast talker, but I become more articulate and I slow down when I'm in flow. Whereas when I'm not, I kind of jumble to get words out very fast. When I'm in flow, novel ideas come to me with ease rather than going back to knowledge I already know or that I've wrote about or read about or took inspiration from another source. When I'm in flow, novel ideas just kind of arise naturally. I'm also naturally more open to other ideas or other lifestyles or ways of living or suggestions rather than closed off and questioning. Flow brings that out in me a lot. And all of those are insights to my highest self. And I believe that this is the reason why I've found so much immense focus in the last few weeks. Because I've never felt more clear in the work I'm doing. I'm certain that the skills I have will help people. I'm certain that I'm pulling the daily levers to grow my leads, my clients, and my skills, and overall growth and business growth and financial growth and abundance. I'm certain that this is my path moving forward, hugely due to my new flow discoveries. These flow things arise and I'm even more certain. It's like a positive feedback. More flow leads to more realizations, and the realizations lead to more certainty, leads to more flow. It's a beautiful loop. When you are in this deep of alignment, the distractions and the bad habits just fall away. For me, I ate my favorite pizza place like a week ago. It's always been my favorite. It's an exciting when we get this pizza place. It tasted like crap. I didn't even like it. In that higher level of alignment, pizza and favorite don't even fit together in a sentence. Although I do love that pizza, or I did. Maybe I don't anymore because I've raised myself. I woke up at 6 a.m. and have been for weeks on end, even though I have no obligations in the morning. I was living in a van with family and friends 1,500 miles from where I was at. No job that I had to clock into, no person that I had to meet. I simply woke up at 6 a.m. because I wanted to, because I love to get up in the mornings and watch the sunrise and begin building online, writing articles, helping people. That's what I love. The time I've spent with my parents and siblings and family since I've got back these last couple weeks have felt super amazing. At times in the past, it would feel boring or dull or quiet, but since I've been home, it's been very lively and fun, full of laughter and love. The more aligned you are, the more often and deeper you'll find flow, leading you to unlock more soul's purpose, more alignment. That's the positive feedback loop I kind of just mentioned. When you aren't aligned, your astrology and numerology, etc., won't be as resonant with you because you're living out of alignment. These self-understanding systems are you when you are aligned. That's why some people, they just don't understand astrology, or it doesn't resonate with them as much. It's because they may not be as aligned as they could be. Then, when you're in flow, when you're not aligned, it'll be a bit more difficult to pick up on the patterns that do align with your soul's purpose. But that doesn't mean that it's impossible. Flow state is still an indicator of what comes out naturally. When in the flow, the you in there doesn't exist. That's a concept from Michael Singer. He says, you are not your thoughts, otherwise you would not say, my thoughts, or I think. You are not your hand, otherwise you would not say, my hand. You are not your brain, because you wouldn't say, my brain. And you are not your soul, because you wouldn't say, my soul's purpose, or my soul. You are not your heart, otherwise you would be broken every time you had a broken heart. You are the you in there, the you inside. When you enter flow, the you in there kind of goes away. The ego dissolves a little bit. The preferences, the patterns, the trauma, the past consistencies all go away and you simply flow. You are in flow. In flow, you are your essence. Now, essence is up for debate in exactly what that is, but I like to keep that simple. Your essence is you. Maybe it's not the you in there. It's not your thoughts. It's not your soul, your heart, or your brain, but the essence of you. It's now clear why optimizing for flow doesn't make any sense. It's not you in there who gets in the flow state. You don't just decide, okay, I'm going to get in flow now. It doesn't work that way. No, you start doing the task just as normal. And when you find deep alignment, when the frequencies perfectly resonate, when God decides so, then you lose this sense of self. And you are purely working and acting through Him, through God, letting Him flow through you. This is a key reminder to treat your flow states as sacred, because they literally are. Now, what if you don't experience flow naturally? You can. As I said, it's foolish to optimize for flow, but you can optimize for alignment, which, as we talked about, opens that flow positive feedback loop. So it's not about actually finding flow, it's about finding alignment, getting yourself aligned with your soul's purpose. I find alignment all throughout my days. The key here is to spread alignment practices throughout the day. Don't stack them. If you're doing all your alignment work piled in the mornings, you will fall and suffer in your evenings. If you do all of your alignment work in the evenings, your mornings will fall back into the old self and the old habits and patterns. I wake up and I meditate 20 minutes immediately. I do a little bit of deep work, which is aligned. And then I do 10, 15 minutes of breath work, going inward again, finding that alignment, focusing. My late mornings and afternoons are full of more deep work and building projects, coaching people, helping others, raising consciousness, bringing people health and energy and vitality, and writing amazing and fulfilling articles, and creating YouTube videos and podcasts. And there's a pattern that comes up. On the few days I fall out of alignment, which has only happened 1 or 2 days in the last month, I will say, not often, but it has come in the late afternoons and early evenings where I don't have any alignment practices that I do every single day. I do them in the morning and in the early afternoon, and I do them in the evening where I wind down and I relax and I turn all the blue lights off and align with the darkness of nature, and I journal. But that kind of late afternoon, early evening is where I fall out of alignment because I don't have a set alignment practice. But I've been really good about it. Like I said, it's only happened 2 times lately. But the times I feel no stress are when I'm living that aligned lifestyle. And that's where I find more flow. Sometimes I feel stressed and angry or uncertain, or I forget. It's when I forget about the alignment practices that is when those things come up. When I'm following what aligns and what I genuinely love to do and what feels good in my body, what my body is telling me feels good, I naturally fall into flow state multiple times a day, like I have now, like I was when I was meditating earlier, when I was doing deep work earlier. When I do things that naturally align, I fall into flow. It's that simple. It makes sense. I have 3 recommendations for finding deeper alignment, which will get you into natural flow state. 1, dig into your childhood. What did you love to spend your time doing as a child? What were you naturally talented at? What came easy to you that others struggled with? The key part here is to ask your mom or dad or all your grandparents or even like teachers or babysitters that you had when you were very young and see what they say. I bet their answers will align some way and will give you very deep insight. I found this with myself. I tried looking back and was like, yeah, I liked creating things. I played a lot of Minecraft and I built Legos. And me and my brother played imaginative games outside. And I was like, yeah, that's very creative. And then I sent the message saying, hey, what was I naturally good at as a child? What came easy to me that was kind of challenging to other kids that you may have seen? And I sent that text to my mom and my grandpa, and both of them said that I'm a quick learner, that I was fast to just pick up on things. And then I connected that back to a football meeting that I had after the season, and the coach told me, Reese, you are one of the fastest learners I've ever seen. And now that's come up again with a coach that I was working with, and he said, like, wow, you are a very fast learner. Like, you understand very quickly and you act very fast. And that was all unrelated. These people didn't know that the other person said this about me. It's just things that they naturally saw. Other people will see things in you in a different perspective and in a different way than you can think of yourself in. So sending that message is very, very powerful, will give you some deep insight into your childhood. The reason that this works so well is because that children are pure, even if they didn't have a perfect childhood, because they haven't been continuously influenced that you should go to college and be a doctor, or why would you do that? Children aren't full of self-doubt. They're not full of self-doubt and internal judgment. These were all programs that we built around ourselves when we felt in unsafe scenarios, or that were given to us by adults around us. Because we as children are so pure, that is the closest we've ever come to true alignment and true freedom. So diving into what you loved as a child and what we talked about there will give you extremely deep insight on what you are naturally aligned with. 2 is to dig into your current life. What do you do and what do you think when you are bored? What YouTube videos do you naturally love to watch? What do you do when you have no obligations all day? What do you find fascinating regardless of your skill level around it? What content do you love? What excites you when it pops up on your feed or in your algorithm? What comes up in conversations again and again and again and again? What keeps you up at night with excitement? What do you first think about when you wake up in the morning? What do you feel a natural pull towards? What keeps coming up in your awareness? This works super, super well because when we are bored, we have complete access to freedom because boredom means that we are completely free because we don't have a task to fulfill. We don't have somewhere to be or an obligation or somebody else to please, giving us complete access to freedom. Boredom is the ticket to freedom. So look at those states. 3 is to optimize your physical and your mental health. Typically, the opportunity for boredom, freedom, and alignment can't arise if our body is unhealthy. This happens because the body is constantly working to keep up. Maybe you're hauling around an extra 50 pounds. That stresses your body over time, especially. Maybe your mental state is clouded with stress or work or bills. Your body or your mind is just in overdrive trying to keep up, so it never gives you that state to relax or to just be. It could be that you just don't quite have the energy to act in alignment because maybe you're just too exhausted. There's an old Indian proverb. A healthy man wants 1,000 things, but the sick man only wants one. In a state of dis-ease, whether it's sickness, a tired body, a clouded mind, etc., we suddenly lose access to live life, and our entire life turns into a task of make me feel better. So we can't access that alignment because we can't access boredom, because we can't just generally feel good. Bad health is a distraction from love and alignment, whether it's mental or physical health. And because of this, I'm running a 7-day energy reset challenge starting January 4th, right in time for the New Year's. In 7 days, we'll optimize your health for all-day energy so that you can go back to doing what you love, accessing these states of boredom. How funny is that? But really bringing you to feel like yourself again, feel natural energy flowing through. And that way you can find alignment. If you're looking for alignment and peak health heading into 2026, building habits and systems that will last you for the entire rest of your life, check out the link in the description. Finding alignment has been the biggest blessing in my life. So following these 3 steps and accessing the divine states mentioned here in this video will lead you to a quantum leap into a higher timeline almost immediately. If you want to access energetic health and habits and feeling amazing and getting into alignment, check out the link in the description for the 7-day energy reset challenge starting January 4th, 2026. Thank you for watching.